Aimee Saras is a unique, multi-talented entertainer who has brought the Broadway style here to Indonesia. Aimee's love for performing began from singing when she started at the young age of 3 years. She was no stranger to the world of the stage as she returned to the Indonesian music scene with a brand new single entitled Lara after the success of Kelam Malam and Rahasia Dendam, the soundtracks for Satan's Slaves 2 Communion. Saras' love for swing music of the 1940s to 50s era inspired her to introduce a very niche genre combining swing jazz and her theatrical innuendos. Some may see her as Indonesia's queen of swing.
Yes, I really love her songs. Yeah, the jazz and the swings. Love the twist of every cover that she made.
Absolutely, and what I love about her is the fact that she does not have to follow what is mainstream
Yes.
or what is popular at the moment, but instead popularizing something that we may not be familiar with because some of us were not familiar with that particular era. I mean, 40s and 50s, you can watch like period pieces when it comes to TV series and movies and hear music from that, but we weren't actually around for that, so we never saw performers in that era do it live, and here we are able to see somebody bring that back to life nowadays, like, what, 70 years later. That's amazing. And it's amazing that somebody can be so in touch with their history and their past, to be able to learn about what happened back then and how it was executed in order to do that and bring that to the stage here as well. Are you familiar with Aimee Saras' work?
Yes, I've heard several of her songs.
Yes.
And I really love, as I said before, her twist and her character of the voice.
Very unique,
really
isn't it?
Beautiful, yes.
Indeed.
And
now,
also the personality, just like you said, hilarious,
yes,
and fabulous.
All right, so to kick off this particular special See the Stories for today, we're now going to kick things off with a special live performance only in the 3-hour news show. Please welcome Aimee Saras.
Mengapa Thank you.
Immaculate! Aimee, Saras! Woohoo!
Wow, that was a brilliant performance.
Welcome back. Always glad to
Welcome
have you.
to
Please have a seat.
See today.
Very much for
I
having
was
me back again.
lost in my own world there listening to your
Yeah.
voice.
Love
A
it.
little bit of a drifting away from the style that we've been used to. Can you tell us a little bit about your latest single, Lara?
It's a pop ballad, obviously, right? And first of all, it's not far away from it. Maybe it seems like it's really far away, but I never really have creativity in the ballad song, right? And then I wanted to inform that ballad is also part of a musical theater. So it's the other side, it's the calm side of me. And it's about expressing me in a different, like more like a calm, chilled way when I'm usually like very like la la la.
I like the la 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 side of you though.
Yeah, but like, you know, it's a kind of like, you know, hey, surprise.
You want to show
This is-
different
And
sides.
the way you deliver the song, it's like really deep in your soul.
Thank you. Well, because like I think like in a musical, in
Yeah.
a musical tune,
Yeah.
there's the upbeat, there's the medium, and there's that ballad.
There always is.
Yep.
There's always, and then there's the side of like, oh, that's the vulnerable side. So it's my vulnerable side that I wanted to show that it's the image that, you know what? Why can't I just show myself and just sing the hell out of it and just
Yep.
coming from the true feeling that I am? And
So is it related to your personal story?
oh, definitely.
Oh, really? Wow, tell us more.
The off air doesn't go to the on air.
Okay, we'll talk about that later during our break. So well, again, like, is that how you find inspiration for your music? Do you draw on your own personal experiences?
Yes.
Or do you kind of like have to take yourself out of your own life and just imagine something new?
You know what's so strange? In this 2022, in the beginning of the year, I just knew my intention was I want something that's really personal, but also relatable to everyone.
Yep.
And I found that unintentionally, I mean, I didn't expect that people will come up to me and that they would say, oh my God, like, what the hell? Like, I can feel I can feel what you're going through.
Right.
I relate to that. And I think I've sort of like missed a little bit of touch of that. And I wanted to relate not only about the love story of relationship, but how about connection to yourself. And then, just, you know, for information, I never knew what being vulnerable was. Like, I didn't know what it was.
Because you're just busy trying to be strong and
Yes,
trying to be independent.
exactly. Independent, strong, and then like, you
Always
know.
simp like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why. And then I said, what is vulnerable? And the song taught Lara, I mean, it's written by Adhika Rafardi, and he just gets the story that how do we create a pop ballad, Indonesian song about love, but it's about ourselves, but without saying any love words in it.
Right.
Yes,
just-
I agree.
Yeah, and then like and how I wanted to deliver it is very effort. You know, it's just me communicating. So it's me giving it advice, and then hopefully everyone, you know, can relate, and then it touches them, and then most of them, I mean, I have a very good response, and I just want to say thank you to everyone who listens to Lara.
Why do you think it's important for you, now that you've gone through this process, to be in touch with your more vulnerable side and in fact show that to other people, where others are really trying to project that they are strong and independent and I'm always okay, but you decided not to do that? And why is that important for you at this point in your life?
So there was one time I was in a scene of a series that I shot, and I'm not going to name, but a particular director, I couldn't get into the character so much because I think in my mind it was very technical. And the director just said, put vulnerability in your work.
Oh.
And I'm not saying that I never did a good job, but I know I was satisfied with what I did. But what, and then that's why I think the more you're vulnerable, especially when you're doing, you know, any work in art, especially with movie, with theater, and with song, the more you put that side, like even 1% of that vulnerability, I think it just shows the honesty that comes out that people can relate to you. So I think it's because of that, and it took me years to actually find out about that.
Right.
And the moment I found out about that, I just cried. And then I said, I just cry, and I don't care if people just think that I'm a crybaby.
It's okay.
You said not using love word and
Yeah.
showing your vulnerability
Yes.
in your new single. What are the differences between your previous singles and this one?
Breaking news on C today.
Here we go. You heard it here first.
I just felt like it was more about someone else. It was a story about other people, about my love for others, my stories about others. So I didn't see that there was just one about me. It's like loving someone else.
Yeah.
It's like a process of falling in love with someone now.
Well, you know what I gather from all this is like, for one, before you try to have a good relationship with somebody else, you have to have a good relationship with
Yes,
yourself. You need
I
to be
agree.
self-aware.
I never knew that.
Right? Yeah.
never knew
And
that.
people say that, it sounds cliche, but it's true when you actually experience it and you realize, oh, I haven't had a good relationship with myself all this time.
Exactly.
And the second thing is, we're always all our lives trying to control everything. And I think part of being vulnerable is not being in control and letting just things
Acceptance,
happen
right?
the way they're supposed to happen.
I think that's just, Paul just sums up all the interview, I think.
Oh, thank you very much. Maybe you should be interviewing me.
Thank you. Very good.
I guess our job here is done. Okay, so let's talk about the fact that you've worked on soundtracks, obviously, with Joko Anwar.
Yes.
I want to rehash this whole relationship. You guys are very close, obviously.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the process of okay, it's Copy of My Mind and Pangabdi Setan
Yeah.
Dua or
Right.
2.
Yeah.
What is the creative process like with Joko Anwar, considering you guys have this like kind of very dynamic relationship? I see you have a very special kind of connection. And how does that play into your creative process when you're creating music for his movies?
I think it's all a whole team. It takes a whole team, right? I mean, most of the songs that are featured in all his movies is actually his lyrics. So it's part
Oh, it
of.
is?
Yep. And it's sometimes it's the Easter egg in those songs.
I
Yep.
see.
Yep.
Oh, you'd heard it here first, guys, by the way.
Yeah,
It's a
so
fun
not that
fact.
many knew that, and then so the soundtrack we adjust because of the movie, not because we create the song and then the movie. No.
Oh, so it's the other way
yeah,
around.
most of the time it's like, okay, we have a song. Do you want to you want to pitch it, and then you want to include it as a soundtrack? No, this is like his lyric, and then of course we work with the team to create a song that fits the the movie.
Right.
Yep.
You know, like, so with the Pangabdi Setan is actually, it's a song for Ibu. It's as if it's the hit from Ibu.
Right.
So I'm portraying as Ibu with my voice.
With-
Boy, it was
There you
quite
go.
scary.
So all the lyrics is, and then of course he's a brother for us. We call him Bang Joko, Abang.
Right.
Yep.
So I think he's, of course, I mean, inspirational, that's no doubt about it. But yeah, all of the lyrics, and his lyrics is, you wouldn't think about it. Like, what? What do you mean? Like, you know?
I'm trying to think back now, like, oh, apparently it makes me look at it differently now. I had no idea.
So when they say, oh my God, Kalam Malam is so scary. Nope, it's a romantic song.
Wow.
You know,
Romantic in their own way.
Yeah, it's a romantic song. Like both
Yeah.
of them are romantic songs. Just happen that they put in a different scene that seems like very haunting.
And people will misinterpret it if they don't know everything about it.
I always get comments like, oh my God, it's so scary. But off that, just listen to it. It's just a romantic song.
And what was your consideration
Yeah.
when you got asked to do a movie soundtrack, for example?
I don't consider. I mean, that's an opportunity not everyone can get.
Oh, so
I mean, imagine.
so like every film, you said yes.
Oh my God! Like if it fits my schedule, and then if it's
Yes.
I'm just like go for it. I think that's why. I mean, now after the pandemic, you realize like there's opportunities everywhere. If it fits you, I mean,
I agree.
why not just take it and then you put your personal touch in it. That's all.
I love that outlook, because instead of trying to find the work that suits you, you
Yes,
make
that's true.
yourself suit to work that's available out there.
Exactly. I agree.
By the way, does Bang Joko ever, apart from writing the lyrics after you create the music, does he ever get involved in that part of the process? Because that's your specialty, right? Does he ever say like, I need to revise this, just the rhythm and stuff like that,
Of
right?
course.
To make sure, because
He wants to make sure, like, okay, maybe the vibe, can she sing it a little bit? I mean, not in the recording, but
Right.
then, of course, like once you send the song and then he listens to it, okay, oh my God, it sounds amazing, but can it be a little bit of this, a little bit of that? So it's just normal revision, but it's not directly. Because
Right.
the move for our singers, like we kind of, I think he knows. That's why.
He doesn't want to step on too many
He
toes.
just knows. He's like, okay, but
Little touches here and there to be more suitable to the movie. right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm just so glad and blessed that he still entrusted that to me.
Yeah, I think you're like his, we call it like Hanilan, right? Like the person that you rely on for something like
I
this.
hope so for the next one.
His go-to.
Oh my
Go-to.
God.
position.
Amen to that, brother.
Hopefully.
Amen to that, brother, sister. Yeah?
we got more with you. Don't go anywhere, and all of you don't go anywhere as well, because we have more with the one and only Aimee Saras when we return here on See the Stories.